Hi Peilin!
Hey Eunice!
Thank you so much for joining me on Making the Cut, for taking time off your very busy schedule. Now we of course are in the Mini Electric. Are you ready to go for an awesome ride?
I'm ready.
All right,
Let's go.
Let's go! So Peilin, you are the head of marketing at Nespresso. Share with me a little bit about your role and responsibility at the company.
So my role is to enable every single person in Singapore to know that they're able to brew this amazingly smooth, aromatic cup of coffee at just a touch of a button. It's like having a skilled barista in your own home or in the office.
Feeling like a skilled barista just by touching that button, right?
Very, very easy.
Yeah.
And one of the parts of my job that I really enjoy, other than having a lot of different coffees to try, is that it's being part of a company that really sees coffee as a force for good. And we do this through a lot of efforts with communities, especially the farming communities, and our efforts in the environmental space, both globally and locally.
I see. So the World Finance magazine named Nespresso in 2021 as the world's most sustainable coffee company. Congratulations, by the way. And since we're in the Mini of course is part of the BMW Group. And in 2020, the BMW Group was named as the world's most sustainable car company. So a lot there in common. Now, how does Nespresso position itself as a company that prioritizes sustainability?
Nespresso, we are known as like the creators or inventors of what's called portion coffee.
Right.
And we like to call it precision coffee. And what, being precise means that there's little to no waste.
I see.
So our Nespresso's sustainability strategy is called the positive cup.
Okay.
And it's, it embodies the belief that every cup of coffee can have a positive impact. Everything we do has a carbon footprint.
Yes.
From what we eat or drink to what we drive.
Traveling, yes.
Commuting, it all has a carbon footprint. So when we look at the entire value chain, we start from how the coffee is grown and harvested to right at the end when we look at how we can reduce or recycle the packaging. And globally, the objective is really to minimize and optimize the resources we have and to make sure that the carbon emissions are as minimal as possible. And we do this globally through things like, regenerative coffee production, eco-design of our machines, agroforestry, and even things like renewable energy.
And you mentioned this very well. You talked about like just looking at the entire process, right? Because it is a commitment, isn't it? When you want to, any organization talks about sustainability, it is that commitment. So for example, the BMW Group, they show this commitment to sustainability in many different ways as well. So one is, Mini is the first brand within the group to offer only electric options by 2030. So, but you see, a lot of organizations are coming out and they're saying this is a really important strategy for us. So why do you think it's important for organizations to push for sustainability?
It's important for companies to push for sustainability because companies have scale and impact. So just one change can bring about a difference that is multiplied by so many folds.
Absolutely.
So like for Nespresso, we also have a goal to be carbon neutral, that every single cup of Nespresso coffee will be carbon neutral by 2022.
Oh, fantastic.
And this is really, it's a very ambitious target.
It's coming up soon.
And initially the goal was supposed to be carbon neutral by 2030.
Right.
But with all these conversations about climate change and sensing just the urgency of this, we've decided to expedite a lot of these improvements so that to implement as many of these changes as quickly as possible.
I see. But that's good though. It's kind of the commitment by the organization, and then you have that message that has filtered down to the entire organization through the staff. And so it's almost become like a personal kind of goal as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I know that, a lot of times we talk, especially now the conversation on sustainability is really prominent. And I also believe that it's never too late, isn't it, to be sustainable as an organization. Now, how do you think organizations can start to prioritize sustainability, just like what Nespresso is doing?
I think first of all, find that intersection between a company's objectives, what is operationally feasible, and what consumers are looking for. And it's not easy to find this overlap because especially when companies are often very used to doing things a certain way, there's a lot of business goals, but we really need to see that that shift is necessary, and it's absolutely crucial for businesses to survive. So it's very important for brands and companies to look at sustainability not just as a trend or as a kind of marketing campaign, but it needs to be a business imperative.
It is, it has to be, Absolutely, because there's also kind of numbers behind that, and then, especially now a lot of people are looking at impact investing, right? And so, I think that's very important. And also I think it's all, about doing your part, and kind of, as one, one player in the entire world, right? I mean, it's kind of a responsibility for all of us to be involved and to be, at the moment you are sincere, you're sincerely involved, obviously that then becomes a commitment, right? Now, I know also that you work a lot with farmers, because when we talk about sustainability, it's not just environmental sustainability, it's also sustainable communities. So working with people, making sure there's fair trade, looking along the entire value chain. So how are you working with farmers to ensure sustainability environmentally as well as socially?
So Nespresso has a program that is called the Nespresso AAA Sustainable Quality Program. And this is actually developed with fair trade as well as the Rainforest Alliance. And this program seeks to support coffee farmers with training, with tools, with infrastructure that will help them improve the quality of their coffee whilst being really climate friendly. So what this program does is that it helps farmers with even understanding the knowledge of topics like soil management, biocontrol of pests, and just helping their crops become more climate resilient, because without the farmers, and if the farmers don't know how to do it best, then the coffee quality also won't be great.
Right.
And that's why we are very invested in looking after the coffee farming communities.
Now, Singapore has clearly prioritized sustainability. I mean, we can see it in the Green Plan and many things that are coming up as well, right? The towns. How do you think Singapore has done so far in terms of us prioritizing sustainability?
The Singapore Green Plan helps to make the priorities that the country has tangible. And I think that's really important, because what we're talking about with companies is that you need to review that intersection, right? Like, what are the primary objectives of the company or the country? What is operationally and economically feasible, and what is good for the people? And when a country makes this kind of commitment, companies also take our cue from the country. And with this cue, I think that's also a signal for us as individuals that certain topics are really critical, and that we as individuals also do need to play this part to support what the government is doing.
Absolutely. Now, which kind of going from that point, right? What do you think? What is your advice, Peilin, to all of us as individuals on how we can kind of lead a more sustainable lifestyle?
Sustainability for me is not an all or nothing.
Absolutely.
I think just changing one habit can help you, when that one habit is accumulated, it can really help bring a much bigger impact. So for me, very simplistic, I go back to what I learned in primary school, which is the 3 R's.
Oh yes, of course. Even though now it's grown to 6 and 9 rounds, but the 3 R's kind of encompass it, right?
Yes, it's like keep it simple.
Yeah, keep
Reduce,
it simple,
reuse,
exactly.
and recycle.
Yes.
So I still go back to these 3 things. When we look at reuse, like Nespresso capsules actually reuse the aluminium in every single capsule. We like to laugh about it, to say that there's nothing new about your Nespresso capsule because we use 80% of aluminium in the capsules.
That's why you give us a bag, because after we're done with the capsules, we can return it to you. Fantastic.
Exactly.
And I like that you kind of supplement that, and you say, look, we'll provide you with a bag, and then we even have a pickup service. I've used it many times, so we can get that from you, and it's kind of easing, helping the customers be a part of that process as well.
Yeah. And when it comes to like recycling, the aluminium is used to make it into many different items, like functional items like pens, coasters, even bicycle frames.
Okay.
Even this brooch that I have is actually made by a local artist.
Oh, wow.
And she made this because the intent was to show that we often think of waste as being very dirty or ugly, but it actually can be something that's really beautiful.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so with this program, the systems are in place, right? We have our local recycling plant, we have our systems of collection, but what we need is for people the participation from people.
Okay.
A lot of our efforts, we want to show that really, the last sip of coffee that you take doesn't mean it's last use, and that these things can have a second life, and that individuals can make a difference one pot at a time.
So if you are an espresso drinker, the next time you go get your capsules or order them, please pick up a bag, put your capsules inside, and it comes with a little kind of ziplocky thing as well, seal. So, kind of seal that and then order them online and pass the bag over, because we need to be involved in that process.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Peilin. Actually, I just have one last question for you. This is a bit of me being, Kepo lah. Do you have a favorite flavor in the entire Nespresso range?
Oh, good question.
Oh, is that? I just thought, can I find out?
Yeah, of course. My favorite coffee is actually Nicaragua.
Okay.
And this Nicaragua coffee actually uses a very old traditional method called the black honey method.
I see, okay.
And what this is the coffee cherries are actually dried in the sun with the flesh still on.
Oh, wow.
So as the coffee cherry is drying, the flesh becomes like this black sticky exterior, and that sweetness goes into the coffee bean.
Oh, nice.
So when you taste it, my gosh.
You describe it really well.
It's a really beautiful sweet cup of coffee.
Wow, fantastic. I think I should definitely be trying that as well. Well, thanks so much, Peilin. It's so nice speaking with you. I think I learned so much from our conversation. Thank you so much for joining me on Making the Cut. And shall we go for a bit more of a ride?
Yes, please.
All right, let's go.